All right, we are here.
Hello. Woo. Yeah,
I
think the band missed their cue.
No, they really did. They really did.
Yeah, it's okay. How you doing, man?
I'm here. I'm just gonna let you take the whole flow because I am like doing all the behind the scenes stuff, and we have a lot of little moving parts and stuff and everything. I had to make sure we were on Instagram Live, which is actually still a manual process, but not not too hard. But we got it.
Come on, Meta, get this together.
I know, right? I can go on Facebook. I can go on LinkedIn. I can go on YouTube.
We're trying to take over the world, yet somehow can't get Facebook and Instagram to link up. That's crazy.
Yes.
Anyway, hey, so it's a big day though for us. Right. It's our official selections announcement show. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. We have some filmmakers already in the background waiting for us to talk to them.
And not only that, we have some filmmakers already on social media putting their posts out, which is really cool. Fantastic. Yeah, I've already been on Instagram and reposting people's things and sharing the love, and it's been pretty cool.
Awesome. People are excited about coming to Waco, and that's really cool because we have a great festival in store for our audience.
That is the plan.
For not only people here in Waco, but if you're watching worldwide, you can catch everything on the online encore. So yeah, we're like global, right? It's not just here in the heart of Texas. It's all over the world.
Over the world.
Yeah.
Although we try to keep the exclusive fun stuff, you got to be present to attend.
And, you definitely got to do that. And speaking of exclusive fun stuff, we're kind of letting the cat out of the bag just a little bit. But if you are a newsletter subscriber to us, you've known that we've been open for a few days with our VIP pass sale. So right now and through the 18th of June, so you get like a little under 2 weeks, our VIP passes are on sale. Yeah, so go to our website. It'll take you to our ticketing page, and you'll see right here. Oh, I need to update that. Film lineup is up now. But yeah, you can click on buy passes, and you can see that the passes are $30 off right now for the next 10, 12 days. So definitely take advantage of that if you want to come to the festival and have a great time. And I tell you what, it's going to be an awesome time at the fest this year. And you'll also see our film guide is also live right now. We have 154 projects at the festival this year. And that includes short films, includes feature films, includes music videos, and short screenplays. And the way we break things down is we put them in different categories. So you have your crowd pleaser films, your family-friendly films, deep dives for those that really want to get really into subjects, really explore subjects thoroughly, and then our fun category, which we call the for the curious and adventurous. And if you've ever been to a film festival before, that's where some of the more interesting content can be. It can be kind of raunchy sometimes, kind of R-rated sometimes. But if you're looking for something that's a little bit more PG, check out the crowd pleasers category. That has a bunch of fun films there that I think everyone will enjoy. That's the crowd pleasers.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely for the curious and the adventurous.
Exactly. And then we have our short screenplays in there as well, so you can check those out. 154 projects. It's going to be a great festival. July 18, 20, and 21. All of those live and in person. The 21st through the 27th will be online encore. So get your VIP passes now. And speaking of fun things to do, fun people, we have a few of our filmmakers here that are going to tell us about their projects. First, we want to bring in Ben Judkins.
Hey.
Hey, Ben, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing? Thanks for having me on the show today, and looking forward to coming out to Waco.
Oh, very, very cool. So, Ben, tell us about your film, what's it called, and what the story is about.
Yeah, the Cigarette Surfboard is a 93-minute documentary. It's about my good friend Taylor Lane, who is this average surfer in Santa Cruz, California, and he does something extraordinary. So he is prompted by this contest to build an article of Surfcraft out of upcycled materials, and he decides to build a surfboard out of the most littered item in the world. As you can see on the screen right now, this is cigarette butts. So the cigarette surfboards take him around the world to meet some of the most inspiring professional surfers who are doing something in their community to help protect and restore the health of the ocean. And the surfboard really gives Taylor this platform to ask, what can I or what can anyone do to be a steward of the sea? And so really it takes this problem, it starts looking for a solution, and it allows that process to be really, really fun. So, there's a lot of depressing environmental documentaries out there. We knew we wanted to make one that was really solution driven. And I'm sure all of you in Waco will, leave the theater inspired to make some change in either your personal life or in your small community. So we can't wait to come out and share the film with you.
Yeah, can't agree more. I mean, it's such a positive film. Despite obviously the obstacles we are all seeing with the oceans and everything, but just the hope in there and the ability to make action on that. Lewis, do you have a question?
Yeah. Actually, I was going to talk about. So this is going to be our opening night film for the festival this year. We're really excited because we have two partners that are going to help present the film with Ben and Taylor, and that includes Waco Surf. They're one of our corporate sponsors, fantastic folks. We hopefully will be doing some fun stuff with them in anticipation of this film. I think that's one of the reasons why your film makes such a great fit for Waco. It's the wonderful inland ocean that we have here in Waco. It's fantastic, but we'll also have folks from Keep Waco Beautiful involved to talk about environmentalism here in Waco and what we can do locally here in Waco to make our environment better. Yeah. So Ben, kind of tell us a little bit about what you discovered while making this film.
Yeah, I think in the film, Taylor, the main character, he goes through this learning curve of, okay, the most littered item in the world. Now what? I've built these cigarette surfboards. And I think along the way, you learn a lot about the problem, but really we learned a lot about what we can do and what any of you can do to kind of take action, whether it's environmental, a social issue, what kind of anyone can do to do something in their lives. And, I just filming this project for many years, I really saw Taylor just have this huge character growth in learning, there's my personal stuff and then what can I do that's bigger than myself. And I think all of the people we met along the way, we have some incredible professional surfers in the film who, they're not just professional surfers. We have one guy who's this professional surfer, but also a regenerative farmer. We have someone who's a professional surfer and also a marine scientist. We have a professional surfer who's also a political activist. And so I think it gives this kind of toolkit for people to watch the film and be like, okay, I can relate to this part of the film or this part of the film and kind of take that home with you and feel inspired to do something in your own life. And I think as a filmmaker and someone who just deeply cares about the health of the ocean, it gave me a lot of tools in my life to be like, okay, these are the ways in which, I can be more of an ocean steward. And I really think the physical surfboards, the cigarette surfboards, are this conversation starter. So we're going to have a couple of those out in Waco. We're going to have a couple of them at our premiere on Thursday night, 8 p.m. And then we'll be surfing them at Waco Surf on Wednesday and really having the conversation with all of you. Here's these boards. Let's have a conversation about, what's going on in Waco and what you can do in your life. And I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to surf this inland wave that I've heard so much about, and really excited just to, have those conversations with all of you.
Yeah, it's hilarious because Waco Surf is, it seems weird that Waco would be the place, but because of Waco Surf, it's definitely a great fit. In fact, Lewis was vacationing in Hawaii one time, and when he mentioned he was from Waco, that's all they wanted to know about was Waco Surf.
Yeah, you guys are famous. You really are.
Yeah, it's
not us. Waco Surf is, and we're happy to have them on as friends and sponsors. But they're amazing.
They're fantastic. So tell us, Ben, what is it that you're excited about? With the audience is connecting with you, what is it that you're excited about coming to Waco for?
I'm excited. Well, obviously for coming to the festival, I'm excited to meet all of you. I'm excited to watch some amazing films. I can't believe you have, I think you said 120 something films at the festival. I think I'm going to be hiding from the Texas heat a little bit and watching a lot of films. I'm excited to eat some barbecue. It's going to be my first time in Waco, second time in Texas. So looking forward to all that, and really looking forward to coming out to Waco Surf and having a day where we can, show the cigarette surfboards in action. And come on out to our film. We'd love to see you there. Talk about the surf culture in Waco, and come hold the cigarette surfboards in person. They're pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
And we got a lot of great barbecue for you. We got so many good options in Waco you wouldn't believe. And the thing about the heat is that that's why you're inside watching movies in a nice, cool theater. And then those after parties are when you get out, the sun's already dropped. It's nice. And you just hang out and just hang on patios and drink, good drinks.
Yeah. Some nice tasty beverages. Yeah. It's always fun to see the Canadians come down and the folks in Europe and like melt. And I encourage them, stay out of the sun because it's killer. But yeah. So Ben, thank you so much for joining us for the live stream. I don't know if you need to dip out. If you can hang out in the and backstage. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to bring on our next guest.
Thank you too. Bye.
Bye.
Yep.
All right.
Very cool. Yeah, no, I'm excited about that film. It's a lot of fun. And I mean, it's funny because it's an environmental film, but it's a surfing film too. So there's so much great footage that they got of surfing. It like makes me jealous that I can't, that's not my jam. But who knows, maybe one day, right?
Definitely. I'm afraid to get on them as well. I don't have balance, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, I'm horrible at that. I'm the clumsiest person I know. But anyway, that's a really poor transition to talk to our next guest. We have Linda Brooks coming to us with her film that's called Unleashed. Hey, Linda, how are you?
Hey, Linda.
I'm great. Very nice to see y'all, and thank you very much for having me.
Well, thanks for joining us, and thanks for the film.
Yeah, thank you for your film. Tell us what your film name is, and tell us a little bit about your film.
It's called Unleashed. It is about survivors of sex trafficking. All of these women got into sex trafficking as minors. And my film deals with the sort of social and societal and economic factors that led them to be lured into what they call the life, and the how they got trapped there, and then the obstacles that they overcame in getting out of the life. I was drawn to do this because like most Americans, thought that sex trafficking was really something that was foreign women being brought into the United States, having been kidnapped. It's our daughters. It's our daughters. The vast majority of people that with the nonprofit that I work with, which is Elijah Rising, the vast majority of the women that they serve are domestic minors or women who began as minors in the sex trafficking industry. And so this is something this became really a mission for me. I wanted to let people like me know this is our problem. This is a problem that's at home. It's our own daughters. What can we do about this? How can we fix this problem? So I watched every documentary I could about sex trafficking, and I saw that they were really sensationalizing the sex trafficking industry. It made it almost look glamorous, and they focused on sort of the victimhood. I wanted to talk about these gritty, determined, courageous women who managed to escape this life, and what we can do to help them, and what we can do to help the organizations that help them.
Wow. Yeah.
Agreed.
That's really, really powerful. And we have organizations here in Waco and McLennan County that also do these sort of things. That's one of the reasons we were really drawn to your film, is because we have the ability to connect these global stories to our local community. So I'm really excited to make those connections with you and your film. Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited about it too. And the organization that I work with, which is Elijah Rising, is just one of three that I feature in the film. There's one from Memphis and one from New York as well. But I am interested in connecting with as many of these organizations as possible. And that's part of the purpose of the film, is to really, educate and bring communities together to talk about tackling this problem.
And you talk about, obviously, in the film, it's not just about the problems that they had, but also them overcoming it in various ways. I know we have a shot here, a still frame. I'll put it up there of a beekeeping scenario. Can you describe a little bit about kind of the work that they get to do?
Right.
And all this.
This organization is Thistle and Bee, which is in Memphis, Tennessee, and this is some of the woman that you see there is Daisy, and she is prominently featured in Unleashed. Part of what they do is they have an enterprise. It's a domestic enterprise, so that they can work. They start getting job skills. They have something to do. Many of these women never finished high school.
Right.
And in fact, most of them did not finish high school. So they start doing job training, and in addition to all the counseling, and Thistle and Bee actually makes and sells honey, and you can go online and buy their honey. It supports the organization. It's a fundraiser for them. They manufacture a variety of products, but the honey is one of the things that they sell.
Cool.
So what is the message that you want audiences to take away after they watch your film?
I want them to know that this is something that they can be involved in, whatever their talents are. One of our featured experts in the film talks about you've got some kind of talent. Find your lane, get in it, because there is an NGO in your community that is under-resourced, underfunded, they don't have enough ideas, underutilized. They need your help. So find them. If it's your time, if it's your treasure, one or the other.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah,
definitely.
So tell us more about how you're excited about coming to Waco, what you're excited about doing here once you're here, that sort of stuff.
I'm really excited about coming to Waco, and I've always liked Waco. I think it's a lovely city. I like it very much. I have friends who went to Baylor. I've spent a bunch of time there. I really like it a lot. The person who did the post-production sound design for my film, Skip Sorrell, is based in Waco, and he's the person who first turned me on to the film. And when I started, to the festival, and when I started researching it, I thought, oh wow, this is an awesome festival. I really would like to be in this festival. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited about connecting with the people at Unbound that you've told me about, and interested in making lots of connections there. So I can't wait.
Nice.
Very great. Thank you so much for joining us, Linda. I'm excited about your film. Like I said, we're still working on the schedule. That's going to come out soon, but it's going to be either Friday or Saturday, the fest. It's going to be a great time. Can't wait for you guys to join us.
I'm looking forward to it too. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you, Linda.
Linda. And then I think we still have a pair of guests. Is that right, Samuel?
I think we have a pair of guests. Yeah.
All right.
Go to a 4-shot.
All right. Let's do that.
All right.
Okay. Bring it on. Without further ado. There you go. Hey, Jonathan and Michael. How are you guys doing?
Hey. Very good. Very good. It's great to see you guys. It's been a while, and very excited. And thanks for putting this together. And it was great to hear the other two films. And I'm looking forward to seeing those live and in person soon.
Definitely.
Yeah, ditto to all that. It's really good to see you guys, for sure.
Yeah, it's great to reconnect with you all because for folks that might be keeping score at home, Michael and Jonathan are alumni of the festival. You guys have been with us since year one, so that's very exciting. And not only that, I mean, we met actually quite a long time ago before that first year festival.
Is it Woods Hole?
Yeah, Woods Hole. Yeah. So shout out to Woods Hole. I know they're right around our dates too. I think we're like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ahead of them.
Yeah.
Shout out to the folks at Woods Hole for putting on a good fest, inspiring us to put on this fest, and giving us the opportunity to meet Jonathan and Michael. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a blessing to meet you guys there, and that this is one of the reasons why it's great to go to film festivals, right? So you meet other artists and such. So it was that was like one of the best outcomes of us going there. It was a great festival, but it was also great meeting you guys.
And when we met you guys, obviously short films was the category we were all kind of in that whole route. But the new film is actually a bit longer. It's It's not and in fact, it's not a narrative, which normally is what you guys kick out as well. Very, very funny, scary narratives sometimes. But this is a bit of a break from what you're normally doing. So can you kind of give us an idea of what was the inspiration? Why did you go this route, and a little more about the film?
Yeah, prior to me meeting Jonathan, and then I'll let Jonathan pipe in after my 35 minutes of blabbing. Prior to hooking up with Jonathan in At a Squirrel Films, I had done a documentary about the blues focused in Mississippi, and so I had that one thing, and we wanted to do a feature length something, and I go to my local coffee shop, and there's a guy there, Jim Scharf, who he knew I was a filmmaker, and he was always pitching ideas to me, and he's a high school mock trial coach. And he goes, I think, there's a story in there for high school mock trial. Would you ever be interested in this? And, it sounded very boring to me. Like, okay, what I do? And I'm like, oh, I'd walk into Pete's Coffee is a place, and I'd see him. I'm like, oh crap, Jim's there. He's going to ask me again. Right. So this went on for about 1.5 years.
Yeah.
And then finally he invited me, because you have to audition for mock trial. And he invited me to an audition, and I walked in there, and then I saw these kids who were, 15 to 17 there. And I was just blown away about how together they were. They seemed like way more adult than I did at 16 and 17. And I was just enthralled with just their complete togetherness. And so I started to shoot. There you go. So I agreed to, start shooting some of the kind of the auditions, and then they do these kind of rehearsals and scrimmages. And we just kept going for about 1.5 years. And, then we had all this footage, and then we're trying to figure out what the story is. So, and we have a very nice story through line through this, but it was really that. It was just Jim asking me, and then our desire to do something feature length. Mm-hmm. And the two things kind of just met, and that's how it got started. You want to add anything, Jonathan?
Yeah, just I suppose just that when we I think when the first thing was first pitched to us, it was a bit of it seemed like a bit of a commercial for the for the mock trial program, or I think that was the kind of usage that maybe Jim was looking for. And we early on, we were talking about the project, and we had kind of come to the idea that if we can make it about the kids and kind of leave the mock trial piece of it to just kind of be in the background. I mean, it's definitely about mock trial, but it's much more centered on the kids and their lives and their struggles, and mock trial is sort of the conduit through which they're sort of expressing themselves and discovering who they are and who each other are, and where they fit in the world, not only in terms of social justice, but in terms of just their personalities and what it is to become adults. And it ended up being that being the focus, I think, has made it what made the film what it is, and why it's such a draw to people. I think we've been surprised at just how genuinely kind of appreciative the audiences have been, and how people are kind of I don't know, just drawn to it. It's been pretty delightful.
Yeah, you talk about how these young folks are discovering themselves, and it really does feel a lot like a coming of age film. What did you guys, as filmmakers, discover as you were creating this film together?
Well, I came of age in the process, clearly, and it was
Big bloomer.
Yeah.
Sorry, Michael, please go ahead.
Yeah, again, this idea that it doesn't sound all that appealing to do this. There's Sammy, who's one of the students in there. She has this part in when we're interviewing her, and she goes, mock trial, it sounds so lame, but it's the best thing I ever did, and it really shaped a lot of these kids. And so again, like Jonathan is saying, it isn't so much about mock trial, that's the setting, but it's really about these 5 students, 4 women and 1 male. We're really focusing on those students, and they've had tragedies in their life. They've had great successes in their life. But it was really the interaction between mock trial, pulling these kids from different backgrounds together into this one cohesive team as they try to win the county championship, which they had just missed winning the year before. I think another thing that I pull away from this is these are kids, if you think about when you were in high school, these are kids that have experienced the Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter, gun violence, the impact of global warming and all that. So these are the kids that are, that's their life that they've experienced. And now they are out of high school, into college, and they're going to take those experiences and try to change things for the better. And the mock trial thing, a lot of the kids that are in there are looking to become lawyers. So, from a social justice standpoint, it's now we're unleashing these kids into, our environment, and the change they could make could be so great. And it's really that kind of thing is now we've unleashed, the kids have, experienced all these things. You kind of get that in the realm of the mock trial. And now they're out there in the world with those things that they've lived through. And I'm certain that they're going to try to change those things for the better.
I think that's part of what there's what the audience takes away, and then I think there's what the creatives take away. I think a little bit. Doing a film like this changes you, and I think hopefully every film that you do changes you. But I think that I think I've had an impression of the youth of today. You think like there's so much media around, like, oh, they're glued to their phones and they're not socializing, and there's really kind of a negative wash of information that we get about kids, and I don't think we really understand what's going on with this generation. And I think if you just listen to the media, you can be pretty depressed about our prospects for the future, given like if it's just kids in their basements trolling people on the internet, like that's going to be the next generation that's in charge, then you could get pretty depressed about it. But I think, like meeting these kids and seeing them in this film, I think you walk away understanding that, oh man, they're going to be such better stewards than we ever were, and I think that there's a kind of, it's eye-opening and it's encouraging, and yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yep.
No, I mean, I love the story of how these kids come of age and how the potential they have. So correct me if I'm wrong, both of you gentlemen are planning to be in Waco for this festival this year, right?
Yeah. Me for the first time.
What makes you most excited about coming back to Waco?
So this is a little silly. I'll start, and then Michael, it's going to sound a little staged, but honestly, getting out there to see you guys is going to be huge. I like a message to the filmmakers out there. I've never been so welcomed at a festival before. This was back, when you were under a previous name or what have you, but like Waco Independent has been, it's the one that I always want to go back to. And it's one that I recommend to everybody. And it's really just about going there. And, as filmmakers, there's certain festivals where the filmmakers get lost. That I think, it's about the films, and, you get it's about the programming and all the things. But you really feel like you're coming home to this place. And that's a testament to how you guys run your show. So it's very professional and all the things, and it's high quality films, and it's well programmed, and the venues are great, and the after parties are great. Like everything is great. But it's really that feeling of just, walking into a place where you're loved for what you're doing, and you're amongst, fellows that are loved for what they're doing. And it's just, I'm really looking forward to coming back. And I'm very, very excited for Michael to experience it for the first time.
Yeah, I've missed it because of COVID and other things in the past, and I had plans each time to go. So I've never been to Waco, and I haven't had the experience of attending your festival. I only hear good things about it. I know you two, and I've talked to some of the people on your staff in the past too. So that makes me really excited. But it's also like the vibe you have is just so great, and your commitment to the community. It just bleeds through, and I want to be part of that. But I'm also, one of the guys that goes to film festivals, and I go to the movies. Like, I love watching short films. I will book my entire day doing that, and it's great to meet people. And I want to encourage other people to attend other folks, films and movies. When we were at another festival recently, and I was just blown away at how good these films are becoming. 10 years ago, I was like, wow, that looks a little rough. But I'm really impressed with what filmmakers are putting out there now. So I'm looking forward to that. Getting to know you guys better, having an opportunity to embarrass Jonathan whenever I can. So that's what I am looking for. And plus, there was like the last time I think you did a bourbon thing or a whiskey thing or something like that.
Yeah, we got to work on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just looking forward to all that stuff. Plus, the surfboard thing is interesting. I don't know if he's from Santa Cruz, but that's just across the hill from me. So I'm super excited.
No, we're excited to have all you guys, and I know you speak very glowingly of Samuel and myself, and we appreciate that. But honestly, we could not do this.
Stop. Just stop.
Stop. But honestly, we couldn't do this festival without tremendous support from our sponsors, Creative Waco, Waco CVB, and the Waco TPID, the Downtown Tourism Improvement District. Thank you guys for your support. All of our sponsors for their support, as well as our volunteers who are fantastic, who I know actually are right now writing emails because I've gotten a text about, hey, how does this email sound? We have a great staff that are working with
Amazing
us.
Staff.
And of course, the city of Waco, the community here is fantastic. It's one thing for me and Samuel to put a bunch of great films in a theater and welcome everyone with a big hug and everything. But if the venues are empty, then it doesn't do much. And fortunately, we have a fantastic community here in Waco that's so interested in films that are happening, these wonderful stories that you've heard about today, the other stories that we have available. Samuel, can we pop that up one more time where folks can check out the film guide?
Yeah.
So go to our website, wacoindie.com. It's going to take you to our ticketing site once you look at the
if I can get there.
link.
You just keep talking.
Yeah, no. Vamp. But yeah, you can check out all of the films there listed in the film guide. You can buy your passes that are available there. You'll also see a section of new and notable that I'll talk about a little bit of what we have here. As you can see, 154 projects. You can click on each one, check out the image that's there. Some of these have trailers, so you can check out the film, get a description of the film. There's so much great material here. Horror films, documentaries, films we kind of joke around called the WTF films, like what were they thinking? Because there's some of the weirdest, wildest stuff that's available on the festival circuit. Again, we've got romantic comedies. We've got like those R-rated raunchy romantic comedies that we tend to get now and then. We have another block of those coming out this year, as well as family films. So I invite you to check out the website. It's easiest to get there through wacoindie.com. Just go there and then hit tickets, and that's going to bring you to this page where you can find all the films and everything there. Cool. Well, Samuel, if you don't mind, let's go ahead and bring everyone back. So say goodbye. Thank you so much for tuning in to the live stream. Thank you, Samuel, for working all the tech. He's flipping all the switches while I sit there and chat. I mean, I have the easy job. I just have to talk. He has to talk and think and click.
Everything.
It sounds like, it's a lot of work. But yes, Breakup Season, fantastic. That's coming out, as well as Dancing in A Yard, all about prison reformation and using dance in prison reformation.
Is a crazy one.
This crazy one called Eating 38 Cheeseburgers. That is fantastic. Hey, there's Kiefer Sutherland. He has a film here.
The Revolution.
Yep. Yeah, some of the stars and shorts you'll see are Kiefer Sutherland, Javier Bardem. We have a short with him featured in it. There he is. He's on screen. He's a fish. And then Fred Armisen. Also, you'll see him in our festival this year as well, in different projects. So yeah, you'll find familiar faces. You'll find these friendly faces. We hope to see your friendly face at the festival this year. So Michael, Jonathan, Linda, and Ben, thank you so much for joining us. Excited to see you here next month here in Waco, and I'm excited to see all of you folks that are in cyberspace joining us in Waco as well. All right.
And just for fun, as we head out, Lewis, I still have our highlight reel from last year. It's probably seems like a good time to say goodbye to our audience and let them know what they're gonna see, because last year is just a sample of what they're gonna see this year.
Exactly. Get a taste of what the festival's like in just a minute and a half here. All right.
Awesome.
Take a look at that, and we'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye.